Stefano Pendinelli was the Roman Catholic Archbishop of Otranto, Italy. He was slain in 1480, along with all his priests, by the Ottoman force that invaded Otranto. He is among the 813 martyrs of Otranto canonized by Pope Francis in 2013. Like Stefano Pendinelli was born in 1403 in Galatina and studied in Nardo, where he became bishop on February 8, 1436, shortly after the death of his uncle, a Franciscan friar. In 1451, he was appointed Archbishop of Otranto. He assumed the archbishopric on June 16. Martyrdom. On July 28, 1480, an Ottoman force commanded by Italy.He Pasha, consisting of 90 galleys, 40 galleots and other ships carrying a total of around 150 crew and 18,000 troops, landed beneath the walls of Otranto. The city strongly resisted the Ottoman assaults, but the garrison was unable to resist the bombardment for long. The garrison and all the townsfolk thus abandoned the main part of the city on July 29, retreating into the citadel while the Ottomans began bombarding the neighboring houses. When Italy.He asked the defenders to surrender, they refused, and so the Ottoman artillery resumed the bombardment. On August 11, after a 15-day siege, Italy.He ordered the final assault, which broke through the defenses and captured the citadel. In the massacre which followed, all men over 15 years old were killed and all the women and children were enslaved. According to some historical accounts, a total of 12,000 were killed and 5,000 enslaved, including victims from the territories of the Salentine Peninsula around the city. Some survivors and the city's clergy took refuge in the cathedral to pray with the elderly Archbishop Pendinelli. Italy.He ordered them to convert to Islam, but received a flat refusal and so broke into the cathedral with his men and killed all those inside. This included Pendinelli, who encouraged the survivors to turn to God at the point of death. Accounts of means of his martyrdom differ. One account says that he was skewered and cut to pieces with scimitars before having his head cut off, put on a pike and carried around the city. Another account, given by Antonio de Ferrarius in his work De Situ Japigii, states that the archbishop, after having heartened the population the previous day by the sacrament of the Eucharist, climbed from the crypt of the cathedral into the choir, and there, a martyr of the faith in Christ and dressed in ecclesiastical vestments, was murdered on his cathedra by the Turks, when they broke into the church. Yet another source claims that he was sawn in half with a wooden saw. Veneration. A portrait of Pendinelli hangs in the Church of the Assumption, Mother of the Church, in his hometown of Galatina. A canonical process for the martyrs of Otranto began in 1539 and ended on December 14, 1771, when Pope Clement XIV beatified the 800 killed on the Col della Minerva and authorized the cult. In view of the possible canonization, and at the request of the Archdiocese of Otranto, the process was recently resumed and confirmed in full the previous process. On July 6, 2007, Pope Benedict XVI issued a decree recognizing that the martyrs were killed out of hatred for the faith. A miracle was confirmed in 2012. The announcement of the canonization was made on February 11, 2013 by Pope Benedict XVI in the consistory, in which Benedict also announced his intention to resign the papacy. Pendinelli was canonized with the other 812 martyrs of the Ottoman invasion by Pope Francis on May 12, 2013.